Hello everybody, and welcome back to the second installment of Hard Hats, Shovels, and Lunch Pails, Schneider Downs Wealth Management's look into the real asset and infrastructure asset class and how we think it can help diversify client portfolios and provide some pretty exciting and interesting return profiles for our clients. Today is a new colleague, Megan Muller, who's an advisor here in the Pittsburgh office, and she's going to talk a little bit about her experience actually getting on site and looking at some of the underlying assets that are within one of our real asset investment managers that we use in client accounts. So Megan, welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here and excited to share a little bit about my experience.
She actually went and visited a data center in the Pacific Northwest and also the largest Christmas tree farm in North America, both of which we own through one of our real asset strategies. She's going to talk a little bit about that experience, but I think as a broader overview before we get into that specifically, Megan, just this idea of, when you thought about data centers, what were you thinking you were going to see?
Well, I definitely was not expecting to basically enter this very inconspicuous building in the center of Portland, Oregon. In my head, when I thought about a data center, I think of probably bare walls and a lot of wires, things that are just moving all the time. And what I saw was a lot different. There is, the sort of entrance to the data center is very inconspicuous. Like I said, it's a high security building. They're running 25/8, so they're running all the time, even when, big things happen, like the COVID shutdowns. They were an absolutely critical resource that we had, and they were, continuing to make sure that all of the things that relate to the internet that we use on a daily basis continued to happen without a hitch. And so that's something that I was really surprised by, that some of the biggest resources that we have to fuel the infrastructure that's working around us is sometimes really inconspicuous and kind of living amongst you in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that is most interesting is how they build and how they construct these massive data centers and just how important they are to our day-to-day life. So when you get in, do you still see the wires?
Don't. So we actually had to take a few different turns down into some classified areas to get to what they called the meet me room, and that's where all of the hookups for 200 plus carriers that use the services of this one carrier hotel in Oregon. And I'll say that there are only 3 of those carrier hotels on the entire West Coast. The other 2 are in Seattle, and then there's another one in California. But to think about the fact that there are so few of these carrier hotels that really provide all of the power that we need for the internet, and then to think even in that scale, when you look at it, really, the Meet Me room is one small room in this facility, and the wires take up about a third of that room at that point, at the point that I saw it. So there is a lot of capacity for the work that they're doing inside of the data center to continue to scale up and only become bigger, which I think is necessary because the internet's never going away, and we're just going to continue to have places to store and transfer this data. So the fact that they're able to make so many things happen in such a small area with the ability to continue to scale up is just amazing.
So the second part of the trip that Megan was able to take was to a Christmas tree farm.
So one of the reasons why I was so eager to get out to Oregon was because I actually worked on a Christmas tree farm for 2 winter seasons during my high school career. So it was really, really interesting to see the differences between, a small local Christmas tree farm that's really providing Christmas trees to the local community versus a Christmas tree farm of the scale that I saw. Like you said, it is the largest continuous Christmas tree farm. They have in total about 4,000 acres. But 2,000 of that is on this one, area that they call Noble Mountain. Very interesting. A lot of the same tactics and processes are used. They're just a lot more efficient, as you can imagine, at Noble Mountain Tree Farm.
And if you're a prospective client or very interested in how we incorporate infrastructure and real assets into our client portfolios, we'd love to have that conversation with you as well, because we do think that this is a multi-decade tailwind that we believe the clients really need to have in their portfolio. So Megan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
It was wonderful for you to share our experiences. And I'll be coming to you now that I know this, and you can help us pick out the Staley family Christmas tree for 2024. So
Absolutely.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.